Hello everyone, and we're back with a retrospect of Season of the Deep. We have 22 days left in the season to go, but we are here to talk about what to take away from this season and what I would like to see in the future seasons of Destiny 2 that, Season of the Deep did pretty well. I know, right? It's weird to be talking about Destiny in such a positive manner. Not really though. So we had a 6-man seasonal activity this time around and a 3-man seasonal activity. And I think the great part about this season was that you didn't need to do salvage to have to get rewards from deep dives. You just got deep dive keys, which I don't know where you get them from, but you have enough of them to where it doesn't matter. I feel like you never don't have, you always have one. So you can always just hop in a deep dive without having to worry about going and completing some useless other activity to give you some currency to complete and get rewards from the other. I'm referring here to Season of the Plunder, which definitely had a lot of that. I think it was also a thing in Season of the Haunted, where you had to go do one activity to get some kind of consumable to then be able to get rewards. It's such a useless and convoluted thing for some players, and again, it's just a waste of time. So again, that not being a thing is a really nice touch to the season, and it's a quality of life thing, if I'm being honest. It's not that big of a deal, but it will save you time in the seasonal grind whenever you decide to play. So yeah, I mean, we need more activities also like deep dives. The optional high difficulty makes it so, master raids and GM nightfalls are not the only challenging activities in the game. It's a great way to include new players in something that is a little bit more challenging. Now, I do think it being available in the match-made version is, it is what it is, most blueberries either aren't going to know what it is, or they're going to know what it is, but they just don't want to do it, and I honestly don't blame them, because doing it with strangers can be a little bit more difficult, just because you don't have the benefit of communication, and whatever. It's super difficult, and it's super fun because it's super difficult, but it's even better when you do it with friends, and I think that's what the point here is for it. Also, Wrath, I'm going to mention it a lot. I love her throughout these deep dives. She adds a nice little touch of passion. Oh my goodness, she's always angry at someone. Never takes the all caps off. Ma'am, I know we're about to duke it out, but can you please, calm down? Anyways, speaking of Wrath being angry, the dungeon is great. I am not gonna, include the dungeon too much in this video because technically it's separate from the season, and this is the only thing that holds back the dungeon a little bit for me is that it should be included in the season pass. And you might think that's crazy. Yes, I know Bungie spends a lot of time on these dungeons, and I love them. I would spend the extra money on these dungeons just about every single time. But the biggest issue is that new players shouldn't have such a hard time figuring out how to play it, because someone who's more casual, maybe just bought this season pass because they like the armor or something, and then they go and they realize, oh, the dungeon's not included, well, that sucks. Again, just a small thing. And I don't know, maybe they could have a discounted season pass if you bundle the dungeon and the pass together. I don't know, that's just a thought that I had. But again, that's the only thing that I would hold against the dungeon, is that it's not included in the season. Therefore, I can't really talk about it too much in this retrospect. Also, we move to the weapons, excluding the dungeon again. The weapons this season are they're really meh, if I'm being honest. And to me, it's really incredible how, sunsetting isn't a thing anymore, and I might get a little hot in some hot water here, but I do think that sunsetting, to an extent, enhanced the feeling you got when you get a really good weapon. And that's kind of diminished now, because every season there's a new weapon that's really good, but you still have a lot of weapons from past seasons that are really good. Now, granted, I think people just get naturally burnt out on using certain weapons. At least I do. I like to switch it up every now and then, and if you don't, then gameplay gets really stale and boring, and I don't know what you're doing. But also, with that being said, every season we get 5 new craftable weapons. We have, I think, 4 seasons a year, which means we get 20 new craftable weapons each year. This is just like kind of big picture. That's way too many. But the 4 we get this season, really the only one that I care about is targeted redaction, because it's a really nice 120 hand cannon that looks like well, it is spare rations, just taken, Either way, I think there are so many weapons in our Guardians arsenals at this point that seasonal weapons aren't really that big of a deal. Again, not having a really good heavy weapon in this seasonal rotation. But then again, the dungeon has one of the best rocket launchers in the game. But again, it's not included in the season pass, so we won't talk about it. Next thing here is I really enjoyed the new seasonal upgrade paradigm. In the past, if you don't know, just for reference, these upgrades would unlock on a week-by-week basis as the seasonal story progressed. But this season, you could do these seasonal, I guess they're called bonuses this time around. You could do them as early or as late as you want. And that's the amazing thing. They provide bonuses here and there that help you get more gear and weapons throughout the season. And it's truly a fantastic thing to have the ability to do early on if you're a hardcore player, because if you're like me, I like to play in bunches, right? Like, I'll play a lot at the beginning of the season, take like a little break in between here and there, and maybe come back to do like raids and GMs, stuff like that. And, to be able to do all those upgrades all at once is really awesome. And if you're someone who is a Bright Dust enjoyer, likes to get as much as you can so you don't spend too much real life money on Destiny, because let's be honest, it's hard not to sometimes. These seasonal bonuses for the upgrade paradigm provide you with progress towards that large pile of Bright Dust. So not only do you have these seasonal challenges, you also have these to help you towards that ultimate large pile of Bright Dust. So that's a nice little bonus. Definitely enjoyed that. And last but not least, the mission for the exotic Stasis Scout Rifle Wicked Implement. It was cool. It was really cool. That Tormentor was a giant butt muncher, but surely, the gun looks cool. The lore behind it is pretty awesome. Like, Xivu is coming for us, or rather, she wants us to come for. It's a weird situation. Yeah. Then again, anything with Xivu is amazing, if I'm being honest. Sorry if I ranted at any point during this video. I really did enjoy this season. I didn't touch too much on the story. I think taking really a break from judging the story is a good thing. But overall, I love the cohesiveness between Asa and Sloane. I think that was a really cool part of this season. And, we got a lot of the exposition we were looking for on the Witness, at least through the seasonal stuff, for Veil, Containment, with anything pertaining to the Veil, really. So, yeah, next season, I think it'll be better. And that's just simply because we had the we had the low crash from Lightfall, so Season of the Deep kind of had to pick up that pace. But now that we've had this kind of long time now between Lightfall and where we are currently, I think next season will kind of be able to exist in its own bubble, and therefore it would be a little bit more successful. But you know, we'll see in about 22 days or so just how good it is. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more of this content and stuff like it, please do subscribe and hit that bell. Comment down below your thoughts on this season and where you'd like to see the next couple of seasons go. But as always, know your viewership is good enough for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.